Sri Gurubhyo Nama children, welcome to online project Ekalaiva. In the last class, we have discussed about the mineral based industry with reference to iron and steel industry and aluminium smelting. Today, we are going to talk about the other important industries like chemical industry, fertilizer industry, cement industry, automobile industry, information technology and electronic industry. So, are you ready children? Shall we go inside the lesson now? We are going to talk about the chemical industries now. So, like iron and steel industry and aluminium industry, chemical industries also play a greater role. And it provides employment opportunities for so many people in our country. At the same time, what is that these chemicals are used in various fields. So, we are using in our day-to-day life, we are using different types of chemicals. Chemicals are used as pesticides, insecticides in agriculture, as well as it is used as medicines in medical field. So, wherever you go, we can see the uses of chemicals in day-to-day life. So, we are going to talk about chemical industries which play a greater role like iron and steel industry and aluminium smelting. The chemical industry in India is fast growing and diversifying. So, when you talk about this chemical industry, it is a fast growing industry and it is a diversifying industry. So, it is fast growing and diversifying industry. It contributes approximately 6% of the GDP. When you talk about the contribution of chemical industry towards GDP, it contributes 6% towards GDP. It is the third largest in Asia and occupies 12th place in the world in its size. So, when you talk about the size of this chemical industry, it occupies the third place in India and 12th place in world. So, when you talk about the size of the chemical industry, it is the third largest in Asia and occupies 12th place in the world. And when you talk about this chemical industry, it comprises both large scale and small scale manufacturing units. So, chemical industries can be set up in large scale as well as small scale manufacturing units, and rapid growth has been recorded in both organic and inorganic chemicals. So, when you talk about the chemical industry, we can see rapid growth in terms of organic and inorganic chemicals. Next, we are going to talk about inorganic chemicals. What are inorganic chemicals? Inorganic chemicals that are produced in India. So, we are going to talk about the inorganic chemicals that are produced in our country. So, inorganic chemicals that are produced in India are, the first one is sulfuric acid. So, we can call sulfuric acid as king of chemicals. We can call sulfuric acid as king of chemicals. Why it is called as king of chemicals? So many other materials, products, other compounds can be prepared from sulfuric acid. So many other chemicals can be prepared from sulfuric acid. That's why sulfuric acid is called king of chemicals. So it is coming under inorganic chemicals. So, this sulfuric acid plays a greater role to manufacture fertilizers, synthetic fibers, plastics, adhesives, paints and dyestuffs. So, this sulfuric acid which is coming under inorganic chemical, it plays a greater role to manufacture other products like fertilizer. So, sulfuric acid is used in the fertilizer industry, ammonium sulfate. So, which is one of the important fertilizer. So, which uses sulfuric acid. So, apart from that, they are used to manufacture synthetic fibers and plastics, adhesives, paints and dyestuffs. Nitric acid, next to sulfuric acid, nitric acid, alkalis. What are alkalis? Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, we can call it as alkalis. Sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, we can call it as alkali soluble salts. These salts are bases that are soluble in water. So sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, they are readily soluble in water. So we can call it as alkalis. So nitric acid, alkalis, soda ash, which is used to make glass industry. So nitric acid and alkalis, they are playing a greater role in glass industry, soaps, detergents and paper industry. So nitric acid, alkalis and soda ash, which is used in the manufacture of glass as well as paper industry as well as in the soap industry. These industries are widely spread across the country. So when you talk about the inorganic chemicals, so these industries are widely spread in the country. The next one we are going to talk about the organic chemicals. So there are two classifications under chemical industry. One is inorganic chemicals. I have talked about sulfuric acid, which is the king of chemicals, which is used to manufacture fertilizers and other materials already we have seen, like synthetic plastics, synthetic fibers, etc. And next to sulfuric acid we have seen nitric acid, alkalis, sodium carbonate, that is a soda ash, which is used in the manufacture of paper industry, glass industry and soap industry. So up to that inorganic chemicals over. Now we are going to talk about organic chemicals, which include petrochemicals. So organic chemicals produced in India are, what is that? Actually they are petrochemicals which are used for the manufacture of synthetic fibers, synthetic rubber, plastics, dyestuffs, drugs and pharmaceuticals. So what are pharmaceuticals? Actually medicines. So synthetic, what is that? Rubber. What is synthetic rubber? So example for synthetic rubber, Buna N, Buna S, Buna N, Buna S, all these are synthetic rubbers that are, what is that, manufactured in the industry. So we can call it as synthetic rubbers. And apart from that, organic chemical plants are located near the oil refineries. When you talk about the organic chemical plants, where they are located, they are very much closer to the oil refineries or the petrochemical plants. So these organic chemical industries usually they will be very closer to the oil refineries or the petrochemical plants. The next one we are going to talk about cement industry. So after what is that, chemical industry, the next place is occupied by cement industry. The first cement plant was set up in Chennai in 1904. So this is the first. They will be asking us one more question: when and where was the first cement plant set up? So the first cement plant was set up in Chennai in the year 1904. So what are the uses of this cement? It is essential for constructional activity such as building houses, factories, bridges, roads, airports, dams and other commercial establishments. So it is one of the important material used for constructional activities. This industry requires bulky and heavy raw materials. So like iron and steel industry, even this cement industry also requires bulky raw materials, heavy raw materials. What are the raw materials we are using here? Limestone, silica, aluminium and gypsum. So what are the other raw materials we are using here? Limestone, alumina, silica and gypsum. And coal and electric power are needed apart from transportation. So this industry also require transport facilities. Apart from transport facilities, coal and electric power is also required for the, what is that, for the availability of this cement industry. The next one, production and export. We are going to see how much they have produced, how much they are exporting it to other countries. So cement industry is doing well in production as well as export. So when you talk about the production and export, it is doing very well. So cement industry is doing well in terms of production and export. Improvement in the quality has found the produce a ready available market in East Asia, Middle East, Africa and South Asia, apart from a large demand within the country. Even though there is a large demand within the country, we were able to export this cement to other countries also because improvement in the quality. So because of the improvement in the quality, we were able to export this cement to other countries also, like Middle East, Africa, South Asia, etc. Efforts are being made to generate domestic demand and supply in order to sustain this industry. So efforts have been taken in order to increase the domestic demand as well as to sustain this industry. So this is about we have talked about cement industry. The next one, we are going to talk about fertilizer industry. Very, very important industry, fertilizer industry. Already listen here, this chemical industry and fertilizer industry, they were, it has found a greater place, in green revolution. What is green revolution actually? Producing food grains in large quantities. When you talk about 1950s and 1960s, introduction of green revolution. So they wanted to produce food grains in large quantities by using modern techniques. So they started to use modern techniques, like they started to use fertilizers, they started to use pesticides, insecticides, HYV seeds, they started to use PVC pipes for providing irrigation facilities. Apart from that, they started to use some inputs, some farm inputs like tractors, threshers, harvesters, etc. All these has speeded up the production activity. It has increased the efficiency of production activity. So chemical industries as well as fertilizer industries, they play a greater role in the green revolution, because the insecticides and pesticides what we have used there, all those are chemicals. So they found they were very popular in green revolution. So the first fertilizer plant in India was set up in Ranipet in Tamil Nadu in 1906. So when you talk about the first fertilizer plant in India, it was set up at Ranipet in Tamil Nadu in 1906. And the fertilizer industry is centered around the production of nitrogenous fertilizers. So when you talk about the fertilizer industry, so even in the fertilizer industry, nitrogenous fertilizers has become greater popularity. It has become the greater popularity in producing nitrogenous fertilizer. For example, urea. Urea is a nitrogenous fertilizer, that is NH2CO NH2, urea. So which is a nitrogenous fertilizer. At present, there are 10 public sector undertakings. When you talk about the present situation, there are 10 public sector undertakings and 1 in cooperative sector at Hazira in Gujarat under the Fertilizer Corporation of India. So when you talk about the fertilizer industry, they are also the widespread industry, most widespread industry. Particularly, this fertilizer industry played a greater role in green revolution in 1950s and 1960s. Moreover, when you talk about the fertilizer industry, so they are very popular in the production of nitrogenous fertilizers. For example, I have given urea, which is one of the nitrogenous fertilizer. At present, there are 10 public sector undertakings and 1 under cooperative sector at Hazira in Gujarat under the Fertilizer Corporation of India. The next one, we are going to talk about automobile industry. So next to cement and fertilizer industry, automobile industry also played a greater role. So automobiles provide vehicles for quick delivery of goods and passengers. So automobile industry, it provided vehicles for quick delivery of goods and passengers. So automobiles, they supplied or they have provided vehicles for quick delivery of goods and passengers. So trucks, buses, cars, motorcycles, scooters, three-wheelers and multi-utility vehicles are manufactured in India at various centers. So these automobiles, they have given two-wheelers, three-wheelers, multi-utility vehicles, tractors, the trucks, tractors, etc. After the liberalization, the coming in of new and contemporary models. So after liberalization, that is what is that markets, that is foreign companies, they started to bring their products in our country. So they started to bring different models and in our country, which has been great, it has become a great popularity in the market. So it has stipulated the demand for vehicles in the market. So after the liberalization, the coming in of new contemporary models stipulated the demand for vehicles. So many foreign products, it has been sold in our country. So this market has been greatly developed after liberalization. The industry had experienced a quantum jump in less than 15 years. The industry has experienced a quantum jump in less than 15 years. So when you talk about the development of industry, this industry had experienced a quantum jump, means what? A steep increase. Steep increase in less than 15 years. So in less than 15 years, this industry has increased steeply, and the industry is located around Delhi, Gurgaon, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow, Indore, Hyderabad, Jamshedpur and Bengaluru. And foreign direct investment brought in new technology. So foreign direct investment, it has brought new technology and promoted the development of automobile industry. Foreign direct investment, they have brought the new technology and they have promoted the development of the automobile industry. The next one, we are going to talk about information technology and electronic industry. So the electronic industry covers a wide range of products. So when you talk about the electronic industry, it covers a wide range of products from transistor sets to television sets and telephones, cellular, telecom, pages, telephone exchange, radars, computers and many other equipments required by the telecommunication industry. So it provides various devices which are used by the telecommunication industry. When you talk about the Bengaluru, which has emerged as the electronic capital of India, it's a one mark question. So name the electronic capital of India. So what you will write? Bengaluru has emerged as a electronic capital of India. So electronic goods are manufactured greater there. And when you talk about the other centers other than Bengaluru, what are the other centers for electronic goods? That is, other important centers for electronic goods are, so we can talk about Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow and Coimbatore. So apart from Bengaluru, there are other centers where we can see the electronic goods. Software technology parks of India have come up across 46 locations at different centers of India. So when you talk about the software technology parks, so it has generated employment opportunities for many people in our country, is it not? So software technological parks. So in and around our country, we can see different types of software technological parks, and major impact has been on employment generation. When you talk about the electronic industry, information technology, it has provided various employment opportunities. 30% of women are employed in this sector. So when you talk about the employment generation, so it generates greater employment opportunities. When you talk about the women, nearly 30% of women are employed in the software technological parks. The next one, we are going to talk about industrial pollution and environmental degradation. So what is industrial pollution? The effluents that are, what is that, discharged from the industries, what they will do? They will cause air pollution, water pollution, thermal pollution, noise pollution. So the effluents, if they are not properly discharged, definitely what will happen? It will cause different types of pollution like air pollution, water pollution, thermal pollution and noise pollution. And in next class I am going to discuss about various types of pollution, how these pollutions are caused by the industries, and how can we control the environmental degradation, how can we discharge the effluents, and we are going to talk about NTPC, which is National Thermal Power Corporation, and what are the various suggestions given for the national thermal power plants in order to control environmental degradation. Everything we are going to see in detail in next class. Okay, if you like this video, you please subscribe for this, and we will see the other important pollutions in the next class. Till that, thank you children.